I'm making this video kind of raw, but I will try to keep it as professional as possible. Um, I'm currently working on a project, but I'm seeking some insight. I'm not very used to getting very hands-on with what I'm about to explain, but I think the point I'm trying to make is I've never reached out to anybody or any community or even placed myself on a platform so I can start developing sort of my character when it comes to uh, the IT world. In my experience, liking the day trading world. Basically, what I dabble in, because I think there seems to be this disconnect with what we're doing and how things work, what we are and what we do. So instead of dabbling in my head and being stuck somewhere every day now, or I mean choosing to be in a sense, I'm I started to record myself from reading more, and I even made a TikTok. I'm trying my best to give what I'm doing a title, but I basically have three main areas of interest, which are arts, coding, and day trading. I have been day trading probably since pre-COVID, probably since I found Bitcoin on Silk Road and started to understand finance a little bit more. I bought a little bit of Bitcoin, believe it or not, when it was around $200. And I didn't even know what it was. I just knew, oh, this is like a stock and it's like a digital coin and you can use it to buy illegal stuff. Great. I happened to be holding the thing and it doubled. So I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. I bought this and it gained value. How does that work? And then I started dabbling into day trading, and I didn't really want to get close to hedge funds or trading commodities because I was sort of like a anti-capitalist, yet I wanted money, so I couldn't really understand what I was getting into at the moment. So I was still very young and just into coding, and well, I guess the point I'm trying to make is sort of my journey into developing into who I am and what I'm trying to approach now. Um, I saw the Bitcoin bubble all the way up to 20,000, and that was like after I graduated high school. Lost a lot. Well, didn't lose a lot of money, but I thought it was a lot of money back then. Lost a lot more money now, but I mean, as time went by, I'm not broke. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you day trade, you understand the process it takes to understand how money works. And with that, alongside, I also had, coding, which is this is a C primer plus. It's not even objective C. So I started really old school when it comes to coding, uh, because I wasn't able to continue college. So I basically said, okay, I did all my general ed, but I can't touch my major. So I'm gonna go to the bookstore and buy all the books I can and see the classes I'm supposed to be taking and go on from there. So I never quit learning IT, but as time went by, I kind of understood I had to get a job and kind of live under my own means. So it kind of complicates having the freedom to go to school every day and make it full time because it's like your life. But you also have to live and make money and all those type of things. So recently, I started working for a startup, and I sort of understood the IT world a little bit more. And I was someone in a actually well, I guess you could say like a directive position. I kind of was leading, but to my knowledge, I wasn't able to continue due to external factors and maybe knowledge factors because I couldn't really get hands on anymore at one point. I started I studied DevOps, Kubernetes, and some C. So I understand how JavaScript works to a certain extent. I'm trying to understand Python, but my main area of study has been Kubernetes for basically cloud administration, which is basically you just using the operating system, which is, you know, it's a program you run. It's a program that's Linux based. So it's just, you're basically using a program, using Linux to manipulate cloud clusters. So I still am sticking to that, and I do not want to quit because I have a thorough understanding on how, you know, running a Kubernetes cluster works and administering it. So I actually went a little, I leaped ahead of myself and went into Kubernetes administration, and I didn't really have a thorough understanding of how coding works. So I had to sort of take a step back and learn how developing works. So now I'm at the point where I'm actually wanting to experiment more with APIs and code, because Kubernetes is great for administration of clusters, but at this point I'm like, well, if I don't have something running for me to containerize and run with Kubernetes, how am I supposed to even, you know, have a goal? So unless I'm working for a big corporation or a firm of some sort that has multiple clusters, like I had a call from Hardee's and Carl's Jr. once, but I kind of messed that up. I wasn't ready, you know. So I have an understanding of who has a bigger hand on basically running their programs in the cloud, like through AWS, because they have such a big workload. So it's basically major corporations. You don't really need a Kubernetes cluster if you're a, you know, small business. I think it would definitely help well, unless you have a very high frequent amount of traffic, you don't really need it. But if you're trying to scale up and do some experiments with, you know, containerization, those type of things, where you can actually manipulate how many copies you have of your program so that your server doesn't crash, you know, I see those type of things more useful for, you know, bigger companies that have the workload. But I digress. I'm getting into something that isn't what I started doing this for in this video. I'm very interested basically in the pump.fun world. I think it has a very big like a long way to go, because you took trading and you made it decentralized. So that's empowering a lot of people around the world to understand that finance is in their own hands and money is just this thing you can create that is just basically the face value it has to do with the belief and the worth people give it compared to another asset. So it's like, I'm seeing all these people make a lot of money, and I already lost a little bit with meme coins, but now I'm more interested in how do these third-party APIs work, who made this website, where's this going, because it just looks like an autistic version of MySpace when you go on pump.fun. So I'm like, this is definitely going somewhere, but right now it's like, you know, raw. So I want to be part of that ecosystem, whether it's independently or working with another team. So right now I'm actually studying how you can use the pump portal API and maybe manipulate that. But I found this guy on YouTube named Moon Dev, which basically he has a Python course on building robots that basically use those APIs to gain data so you can sniper certain meme coins and make a lot of money. But my interest is making maybe something more user-friendly, like a GUI that involves maybe, I think Deck Screener is great, but we need something for traders so they can use it. I think right now it's probably being a little, what's the word, like gatekeeped. So basically when this gets a little bit more serious, only the people that know what's going on with code and building robots and understanding how to do this, kind of in I know back end is a bad word for this example, but I guess you could say background in the back. behind the scenes. Yeah, behind the scenes. Basically, right now the empowered people are the ones behind the scenes understanding how this technology works, and later it's going to be monetized and sold to them, to new users. Sorry. Uh, so when this is more serious, it could be more user friendly and used by more people. Because right now, all I'm seeing is these TikTok high schoolers gambling their money, and some of them even building real projects and making money. But it's basically like this whack ecosystem where it's like the Wild Wild West. So I think just like cryptocurrency went from you buying on Bitstamp and holding it and seeing like a weird chart that only you could understand, to basically a decentralized exchange to a centralized exchange. Like there's Blowfin, there's Bybit, there's Femex, KuCoin, and those are more user friendly now. So this is going to keep growing definitely, and I think what needs to happen is something in the community has to change technologically. We have to make a better user interface to involve more people, because this could empower communities that have no help at all. You know, no banking system. You're giving people banks and their phones. So this empowers people to help whoever they want. For example, I think people in poor communities should they should have tokens made and money donated to them, because now we have the power to funnel this money that is decentralized. I know Solana blockchain isn't the best blockchain in the world, but it's obviously having that use. For me, it's like the Windows version of a blockchain versus like Apple, like Bitcoin, because it's you can take Solana blockchain and manipulate it as much as you want. And I'm pretty sure, just like you can handle your own Windows computer your way, you can also, have your own security protocols or whatever you have to do to keep your copy of the blockchain secured. You know what I mean? So it's going to be very community driven, and I think the people that are going to be on top of this are the people that understand the technology and the code behind it. So if anybody has any insights or comments or something they want to say, I did not prepare for this video at all, and I usually don't because I don't have the time. I got 2 kids and I'm just trying to make money all the time. I think just like anybody else. But that's what I do. I just keep making money all the time and keep studying and learning code, day trading, believe it or not. That's another story to talk about, but my mind also kind of reversed on me when it comes to commodities and assets. Now I kind of stay away from crypto because it's going to be the thing that I think is going to have longevity versus fiat currencies and that kind of stuff. So right now I don't have time to lose money in it. I rather do what I have to do to keep my family safe, wealthy and consistent until I can gain some traction, which is, believe it, sooner than later when you gain some discipline. And then I can start risking money I don't need when I have some security. But that starts with you and how you vibe and what you do and the consistency that you find in your life, and you try to build on top of that, because you don't have the power to change a lot of external things, but you can change yourself. For example, we don't control the economy, but you can understand how the economy works and basically go off of that and see what works for you. I have multiple businesses that are basically on and off depending on the season, but that's what you got to do. You have to look for a need, you have to fulfill that need, you have to find a problem, you got to bring a solution. So I'm 28 and I've been at this for about 6 years now, and until this year is when I decided to start recording myself, being more serious, maybe making an online presence, which is what I'm trying to do now. I don't even know if I'm allowed to post this video, but anyways, it's already 14 minutes, so I'm gonna cut it in half, or may not. But anyways, have a great day. I'm gonna keep doing what I do and making more videos. Thank you.